Hey, welcome to episode 2 of the Last Take podcast, where we talk about sports. With me, as always, Dano, Red, and I'm LC. So, guys, a lot went on since the last podcast came out.
You're not kidding.
2 champions and really some great games. So let's start off with the low NBA.
Yeah.
Thoughts? Warriors are champions.
I'll let Dano go ahead and draw his line first there.
Again, absolutely no surprise whatsoever. Only surprising thing for me is that the Cavs kind of effed up and won a game. So, and God, did that Warriors team look great that last game. I mean, Durant, the whole series, on a mission. Curry, Thompson, Draymond. Clay struggled a little bit in the beginning of the series, turned it up as the series progressed. The Cavs even had other guys stepping up in that final game. You saw JR come up and hit a lot of big threes. He hit 2 big threes at the end of the first half to keep it 11 points, so within striking distance. But at the end of the day, just not nearly enough to get done with that Warriors team.
It wasn't nearly enough. Numbers right here. Kevin Durant averaged through the finals 34 points per game, shot 52% from the field, had 8.8 rebounds, and he averaged 5.5 assists a game.
Yeah.
LeBron was 31.8, 54, 11.8, and 10.5. He averaged for the finals, though, a triple-double at 32, 12, and 11.
Yep.
So LeBron really carried that team over there.
But
pretty big. So
that's an incredible stat. LeBron averaged a triple-double in the NBA Finals.
Still lost the finals.
Still lost. And no one
carried 40 in game 3.
Give it 3 weeks, no one will give a shit that LeBron averaged a triple-double in the finals.
Again, does it come back to what we talked about last week, where does LeBron play well with others?
I think he does, but like right here, it shows how much an invaluable he is to the Cavs. In Game 3, when he was on the floor, they were plus 7.
Yeah.
He left for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. They were minus 12.
I think
I got to say in that point, somebody brought up a great point. Play the extra 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they were minus 12. I mean, they were plus 7 with him. He took a 2 minute, 20-second rest. Bang, minus 12. That quick. Bang.
I can't say that LeBron isn't a good teammate, doesn't play well with others if you're looking at the finals as a test, just because that Warriors team is an anomaly. I mean, that Warriors team takes some stellar basketball players, some stellar basketball teams, and makes them look like crap. The fact that LeBron still averaged a triple-double shows that he is capable. I think he was trying to include the teammates, but, I mean, Kyrie was getting his.
Just like you explained, he tried to bring in those teammates. He tried to bring in that teammate, Kyle Korver, in Game 3. Mm-hmm. Passed the ball off, received all kinds of criticism for him. Oh, my God, he passed the ball to Kyle Korver. He's the leader. He should have did it. He had Draymond on him. He had 5 fouls. He could have got another foul. Draymond would have been gone. Do the people not know that Kyle Korver was one of, if not the best, percentage three-point shooter last year in the NBA?
Oh, yeah, he was the best.
He was the best one there was.
Yeah.
That was not a terrible pass. He hit a wide-open Kyle Korver, who had a great look and just happened to miss the shot.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and like I said, that Warriors team, the things that they can do defensively with Draymond neutralizes. It very well could have been their game plan going in. Let Bron get his, and we shut down everybody else. And for a vast majority of the series, with the exception of Kyrie getting hot here and there, they did that perfectly. And I don't think it mattered how good LeBron was with his court vision. You weren't getting much rolling.
Exactly. That was like a reporter asking. One of the reporters said, do you think this is the game that they have to win? Talking about Golden State. His reports were, nope. I mean, shit. It's over. Basically saying, if they win, it's over. I mean, they don't care what game they win. But if they would have lost, I hate to say it, and I'm going to tell you right now, I would have switched my money over to Cleveland. Because you went back to Cleveland for 6, and they've already proven...
If it would have gone to 3-2?
Yes. I would have switched my money to Cleveland. Because Cleveland would have won in Cleveland, again, in dominating fashion, and they've already proven themselves in Game 7 last year. I would have switched my money right over to Cleveland that fast.
It did give it was amazing how fast all of a sudden, as soon as the Cavs won that game, that everyone started going, oh boy, here we go, it's going to happen. But then and I think for good reason. I mean they were
all but in that situation last year.
Right.
You know, so I don't blame people for going, are they going to choke again?
Yeah.
Exactly. LeBron played 166 minutes in that finals.
Yeah.
He only set for 26.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible. Per 100 possessions with LeBron on the floor. They're actually only 1.1 points fewer than what Golden State would be. Without him on the floor, per 100 possessions, they're 47.9.
Yeah.
Lower than what Golden State was. That's pretty big. 47.9 per 100 possessions.
Yep.
So is LeBron's attempts of building a team around himself, is this just saying it's failing?
I think he's got too much on his plate because not only is he trying to be a player, he's trying to be a player, a coach, a general manager, and if you want, you might as well even say owner. I mean, he's trying to do everybody's job instead of just concentrating on playing basketball. Curry doesn't try to do that. None of them do. He just plays basketball.
Well, but I'll disagree with you there because I think, obviously your stats sit here and say that when he's on the court, they are performing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But is he not? Is it? And we sit here and say he's carrying the team. So I would say it's not so much that he's doing too much. Is he bringing the wrong people?
Yeah, last year, you saw Golden State. Who Golden State get in the offseason?
Durant.
They got Kevin Durant, MVP.
Yep.
Who did Golden State get? Not Golden State. Who did the Cavs get? Kyle Korver and Carl Boozer.
Yep.
That's it.
Darren Williams.
Oh,
Good, Justin.
That's it. Wow.
Yeah.
They had Richard Jefferson, who's old.
Yep.
Speaking of Richard Jefferson, when you guys watched that finals game, did you see who he fell down in front of and what he said? It was hysterical. He fell, and I think it was the first quarter, and he landed on the floor, and he's laying down there. He landed in front of Chris Rock.
Really?
And Chris Rock says, stay down, man. You won't.
It's awesome.
I watched
That's
it.
funny.
It was hilarious. I saw that, and I had to rewind it to see it again. But it was Chris Rock, and he said, "Stay down, man. You're old. You're okay."
He is old. I think
It was very funny.
I don't know how he's got to be about retiring at this point.
And that right there, did you know that was the first game that the team who led the first quarter did not win?
Really?
The team who led the first quarter, the first 4 games, won every game. Cleveland won the first quarter in this game and managed to lose. It's the first game the team who was not winning the first quarter did not win. It's pretty incredible. Right there, Durant got MVP. I think that's a big weight off his shoulders. In both ways, getting the MVP and the championship.
Yeah. For him personally, it's a weight off his shoulders, I don't think anyone put a huge weight on his shoulders until he came to Golden State.
Yeah.
Right? We knew in Oklahoma City that was a very talented team, but everyone kind of expected that the Thunder would get outpowered by the Warriors.
Oh, definitely.
So, again, you lose to the Warriors last season when they were 73-9 in the regular season. It's like, okay, that's a really good team. Westbrook and Durant have all the talent in the world, but the second he went to Golden State, he
went to a new level, which is incredible.
So, on that note, do you still take it away from Durant because he, a lot of people say cheat the system because he bought his way into a championship?
I don't think I do because if you look at Miami, let's use them as a perfect example, or even Boston, the big three when they all had it. It seemed like it was a very, very, very hard transition for all three of those 2 teams to transition into a championship team. This team here, flawless. The last game they lost was against the Jazz.
Yeah.
They were before they lost game 3, or 4. The last time they lost was to the Jazz. They were like 32-1 up to that time.
Yeah.
The last time they lost a game, when all of them were healthy, was February 4th, and it was against the Sacramento Kings. It was the last time they lost when Durant, Curry, Thompson, Draymond, all of them were healthy. February 4th.
What makes the Warriors getting Durant and that super team so different is the fact that team was championship caliber before Durant got there. The Celtics, when KG and Ray Allen came in, that team was a dumpster fire. They were not good. It was Paul Pierce, one-man army, trying to get what they could. Same thing in Miami. It was Dwayne Wade. That team was struggling. And then LeBron and Bosh came in and turned that into a super team.
And then the following year, you got a couple years after that, you got to think about who they got. They got Hassan.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a big stud, but then all of a sudden, bang, Hassan Watson is probably, if not the best center in basketball. He's one of the best.
If the Warriors didn't get Durant this offseason, they still would have been the favorite going into the season to win the championship.
Now, he's going to re-sign because he's not going to leave. And they'll do it again. I don't think anybody will touch him again next year. He'll be walking right through the finals.
Yep. So back to the original question, though. Do you take it away from Durant because he got in with a championship team already versus building one?
I don't take it away from him because he fit into the system so flawlessly. He didn't have to work at it. I give it to him like it looked like he should have been there.
I don't take it away from him because it's the system that's in front of him. I mean, he followed a blueprint that had been laid out to an extent by the NBA, by the league, giving them that freedom. And for that reason, again, like I've heard it discussed on other shows, radio shows, whatnot, that if you're at your job, you're in a cubicle working a 9 to 5, and you get offered a job with similar pay, a little bit less, but you get to work a lot less hard, and you get a lot of glory and praise. I mean, everyone and their mother is going to take that.
And here's where I say, and here's where I'll say I think he earned it, because he didn't just go there and coast.
Right.
He went there and led that team.
Yeah.
In the NBA,
especially in the finals.
And kudos to Curry and Thompson and Draymond that they did not have an ego when Durant got in and really let him have his time to shine.
Not only didn't have an ego about it, but fed him the ball to go be stellar like he was.
They knew he had a monkey on his back in this finals.
Yeah.
Like if he would have gone to this finals and lost,
he was in trouble.
I mean, as much as people now are talking about, Durant, he won the title, but he's on the Warriors. If he would have gone to the Warriors and then lost, I mean, the blowback on that, the crap he would have been getting on that is, exponentially higher than what he's getting now.
LeBron's only 3-5 in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible record. Been to 8, only won 3 of them. It's terrible. Let's see here. It's just the numbers that he had were pretty bad and astonishing, and he had the best finisher in the game on his team.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie, he couldn't do it. NBA, I think, loved it because all of a sudden it's a dynasty. People love dynasty. They like predictability. They love it. As much as people say they want to see something new, they loved it. Here's a perfect example right here. Numbers were up for the games this year compared to what they were last year.
Okay.
Numbers were up. You're telling me that people don't love what they're going to see. Patriots went to the Super Bowl. Okay? You're telling me that if it would have had Kansas City and the 49ers in it, people would have watched it. They would have watched it, but there would have been 113 million viewers to watch it. People love predictability as much as they hate it.
Part of your argument though falls down on itself because you pick 2 small market teams too.
Yeah.
And that's where it is. I think you got to factor into the viewership markets, right? If it was Dallas and Indianapolis, it
would just be high because of Dallas, but nobody would care about the Indianapolis.
No, that's not true. Indianapolis is a big market team.
It's a huge basketball market. Basketball is huge in Indiana. Huge.
Football, like it shows people love predictability.
I'm saying I don't think it matters. I think part of what you're talking about, at least part of what you're talking about as far as numbers, the example you're throwing out there is 2 small market teams. I think viewership would have been up anyway, even if it had been 2 big market teams who weren't expected. I still think viewership would have been up.
It was up even higher than it was last year when Peyton was in the Super Bowl. The numbers were higher than that.
Yeah.
And New England went back again. People love that. UNC. Everybody's like, UNC, whatever. They went back to the finals. They're always winning. Guess what? Numbers were up because guess what? UNC was there. Maybe a big market college, like you're saying, but people love predictability. They love watching the same thing happen over and over and over and over again. It's just what people do in America. They love it.
Right, but I think what hurt the NBA this season in terms of the predictability factor was everyone kind of knew going in the Warriors were going to win it, right?
Yep.
But you talk about how the Patriots have won so many Super Bowls.
Yep.
But how many of those Super Bowls they had different opponents? We're looking at the way the NBA is set up now. It's a definitive number 1 and a definitive number 2. And then 50 feet of shit and everybody else.
Yeah, but
right?
they love it because everybody's still watching.
But the NFL, there's so much more parity in the NFL where you have your definitive number 1, but your number 2 is a 5-6 team jockey every year. You know, but the predictability. I think the ratings would have been even higher for this NBA Finals if it was the Warriors, and then again LeBron throws everything off because he's a huge draw. People are going to watch LeBron no matter what. But if you take him out of the equation, the ratings would have been a lot higher if it was a Boston in there, or if it was a Toronto in there.
Yeah.
2 tickets last year to Game 7.
Yeah.
4 side tickets for Game 7 at that arena, the exact same arena. $99,000.
Yeah.
2 tickets. This year for Game 5, there were already 90. The supply and demand is right there. It's already almost as much as Game 7, and you still have 2 more games left after that.
Right.
It shows that the ratings were up.
I just think
part of the issue there though is that at Game 5 there. I think you're looking at it. It was a very different Game 5 this year.
Yeah.
It definitely had the feeling of this really could be the final 5.
Yep.
Where last year at Game 5, yeah, it was the same, win-loss, but I think everybody was already starting to feel the tide turn.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, but let's take a quick moment to speculate.
Mm-hmm.
Recklessly. Before we take some last thoughts, did Golden State throw Game 4 to get the money at home court?
No, they did not. They did not blow it. And the reason I say that is because Kyrie and J.R. Smith went absolutely off when that game started. I mean, crazy. I mean, Kyrie dropped 40 points that night. That's the first time he dropped 40 that it was. He dropped 40 in Game 5 last year when they were in Golden State. But I don't think they blew it. No.
I say no as well. Part of my reasoning is from last year, though. I don't think you could have some greedy guys in that front office, but you can bet they are all trigger shy as hell from last season when they thought they had it in the bag.
Is there a difference between having it taken out from under you like last year and going, all right, we're going to give them this one knowing that we can go home, win it in front of our own fans, get the money, because we already know, we've played at home, we already know we're head and shoulders better than these guys.
Just some of the numbers from that game right here. There was 86 first half points in that game. The Cavs hit 7 3-pointers in the first half, or in the first quarter, and they shot 21 free throws. In the first quarter of Game 3, they shot 21 free throws.
It's a lot.
That's a ton of free throws.
Yep.
They got them in foul trouble early.
Yep.
And they played out, and that's how they won that game. They got them in foul trouble, they came out, and they were talking. They were running their mouth. And they got in their head.
Yeah.
That's how they won.
All right, last thoughts. We need to wrap up.
See here, we can on NFL. We're wrapping up or all together?
All together.
Okay. See here. Let me throw some hockey stuff in there real quick. Penguins won the hockey. Sidney Crosby won his second
Conn Smythe. Yes.
MVP award.
Any idea who Conn Smythe is?
Not a clue.
Not the slightest clue. No.
I'm glad I'm not the only one because I don't follow hockey, so I just figured it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea who it was.
No idea.
He won the MVP.
We could even, I guarantee you, we could contact our roaming hockey expert, also known as my girlfriend, and she would have no idea who the hell Conn Smythe is. Yeah, Barry Melrose is my girlfriend. Yeah. I got a thing for mullets.
So he had 8 goals. He had 8 goals in just the final, and he had 27 goals in 24 games throughout the playoffs. Sidney Crosby did. He earned it, if you ask me.
Big things coming for Nashville, though.
Nashville looks very good. They look very, very good. Big things are coming.
Fans in Nashville have some very good things to look for.
On and off the ice. I mean, I think it was huge for the NHL, even that they didn't win.
Oh, yeah.
That just having
hands down, excellent for the NHL, no matter what.
Right.
See here.
Promoted the party atmosphere around sports.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
They embraced it.
Absolutely.
They definitely loved it. Baseball, Aaron Judge is an absolute animal. He crushed a 496-foot shot. He batted .500 for the week with 3 home runs. Took AL Player of the Week. Currently leads the majors with home runs. He's an absolute rock star as it comes to. The Patriots got their Super Bowl rings.
Yep.
283 diamonds. Reason being, because they were getting beat 28-3 by Atlanta. That's why it's got 283, 28-3. I think that's pretty cool how they did that.
Maybe this time he won't lose it to Putin.
Yeah, who knows?
So I think that was pretty cool.
Putin's a sneaky bastard.
There. Decker officially was released from the Jets today.
Yep.
They released him, which I think was a terrible decision to come out and say, we're going to trade you or release you. Nobody's going to trade for you if you know you're going to release him. They'll just pick him up.
Yeah, exactly.
Just say, hey, we want to trade him. And then if nobody trades for him, you say, okay, we release him. Don't let everybody know you're going to release him if nobody gets him.
That was the crappiest trade bait ever. Guys, it's shit fisherman.
It's
Terrible.
Like, we're going to trade him or drop him. So who wants him? We'll let you drop him and go get him.
Yeah.
You know, so that was pretty bad, I think. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of some of the stuff that was going on.
Your last take, bud. Last one right here.
What you got?
Hit us with one. Oh boy.
Come on.
Last one. You're running out of
I
time.
don't have one here to throw at him. Besides,
Come on, scramble through that notebook.
I'm excited for sports and ready to get it on.
There's your last take. Red is excited.
Red likes sports.
All right. So thank you for tuning in to episode 2. Tweet at us your thoughts on NHL Finals, NBA Finals, and what's coming up.
I do have one real quick. I just spilled my beer.
There's your last take.
That's it. We're cut it off. We're done.